It's a new year and we're going to school for the new year. Electrical school. Talk to you. Somebody asked me to give a little spiel on why can we only ground the neutral at one specific spot in the whole panel, well, your whole wiring, okay, of your house. One, and this is stipulated by the code and your regulations, eh? So the first thing we got to think about is, why do we have a ground? Before we talk about only grounding it in one spot and the reason for that, why do we have a ground? A ground, the main reason for it is that if we ever get a dead short is when power is like on your toaster. You know those little elements when it breaks and it goes to ground, okay? It'll short the breaker. But we'll forget how it does that. But like its path, okay? Power. I gotta be jumping all over the place. It's all in my mind and I understand it, eh? But the blurp it out is a different thing, eh? Okay, so power. No, I don't want to get into a perfectly balanced circuit where you run 220, one phase to one bulb here, another phase to the other bulb there, two same kind of bulbs, okay? And then you just have a wire in between, and these two bulbs will light up. You try it. They'll light up. This is what you call a balanced circuit. But in a panel, in an electrical panel, when it's perfectly balanced, there's nothing on the neutral. That's in a perfect life. Because your neutral is balanced at your panel, like the differential between one phase and another. Like the load, eh? The load difference between is an unbalanced load between the two phases. And then it's sent to ground at the panel. They call that a bonding screw in the panel. Well, it's sent to ground. So it's just the more or less give a bias to the phase that's unbalanced, and they give a bias and it just drains it off, and it that's why if you just have one light on your whole panel, turn the light on, it'll turn on, not because of the second phase, which is the second live. It goes on because it's got a bias to ground through the neutral, but only at the panel does it have a bias to ground. Let's say now we're getting into the good stuff. Let's say you bonded you're in your garage, okay? And you decide that you're far away from the house, from your panel, eh? You say, I'm gonna ground the neutral here too. I'm gonna stick a ground rod in the ground, okay, and ground the neutral, okay? Danger. Well, first off, we'll start by telling you, when you take your tester and you have a circuit, let's say a toaster, okay? You put it on your tester, your flute tester or whatever you call it. Put it on the live, you're reading 120, and you put it on the neutral, and you don't read nothing to ground, because you have the same bias. But, ooh, do I have a clamp on? Oh yeah, I have a clamp on. Wow, the electrical you put a clamp on. You see? Put that on the wire. Put that on the. I could show you all this, but you gotta trust the guy, eh? Like I'm telling you this, but I had thought of making a big mock-up and everything. But if I take this, I put it on the power lead going to the toaster. Okay, just one lead, not the whole extension cord, not like you take this there, stick it like that. That doesn't work. You one wire, the power one to the toaster. You put it in here, you get a reading. 11 amps. Okay, we just 11, 12 amps. That's what the meter reads. Put it on the neutral. You think you're gonna read something on the meter here? You're darn right you're gonna read something. You're gonna read 12 amps. Same thing as you had, because that's the differential, and there's power coming in. It's always, there's been different talks on this, eh? It's like beans, eh? Beans that are circulating in the wire, eh? And the beans are what makes the work. I just heard something. I hope I don't have a little mouse playing around on my bolts. Anyway, so where were we going before? Oh, I was going to tell you there's a Pacific danger, eh? So if ever you get a break in your neutral, if you were bonded at the other end, then your toaster, okay, you're famous. If you broke halfway from here to your garage and you had that toaster or that I gotta make sure what I'm telling you is correct. Anyways, okay, well, if you put whatever's on the neutral, if you drain it to ground, then what happens is because you did that, okay, grounded your neutral at the garage, okay, decided to put a ground rod and you grounded that neutral there, well, then you're bringing the unbalance to the ground down there, and now there's differential, like they're on ground. The one from the panel has so much load on it that it's dissipating to the rod, and now the one at the other end's got so much dissipated to the rod. So if you end up in the middle, and if you had a break in that ground in the middle, or you took something apart, well, you're gonna get whatever differential there is between what you have at one end of the ground and what you have at the other end of the ground. Plus, if ever these grounds, okay, because these grounds will carry in the earth, and if ever you, the probability of that is you have your hands and you're digging a hole, and you got good conductance to your ground rod from your left hand, and you got good conductance to the other, this new ground rod that you decided to put in the garage there. Well, then you're in the middle, so guess who's going to get it? And just to get, if you put your hands on power like 110, okay, like that, you try putting your hands between, like if you put your skill saw, you plug it in, and then you break a wire, eh? And then you touch between the ground and the load of the skill saw, you're gonna get a zap, mister. Hey, trust me, I did it. But when you're an electrician, you just laugh it off and you keep going. Can't stop at that, eh? Because you'll never be working in electricity for the rest of your life, eh? But when I was young, it happened to me. But anyways, just for the... I don't know if I did a good job out of this. There's other reasons why. Code-wise, it says, okay, that you only bonded. They call that bonding the neutral. You only bond it in one place. The reason, the main reason, is that you're carrying power on your neutral. Okay, your unbalance is carried by the neutral, and they want that to be dissipated at your panel, or if it goes back onto the hydro ground, which is the neutral. Okay, because hydro has a ground too, down their transformer poles there. Well, but it's bound to the neutral leg on the transformer. So it's if you have one source of bonded neutral, then you have one place where it dissipates, and it will carry your neutral. Your neutral would be even throughout your house. But if you start putting grounds, like grounding a neutral here and there and everywhere, well, first thing you know, you're going to have yourself a problem. You'll have a differential in your grounds, and you'll have differential even in your neutrals. Your neutrals won't be even throughout the house, so it's not a good thing to poke around. The regulations, okay, you gotta follow the regulations. I seen some guys they had a two-wire going to a well. Okay, this is a little story. This was on the net. I got involved in the conversation, and then the guy didn't want to dig and put a tree wire to his well. He wanted to have a light had a little caboose, So he wanted a light, and his pump was 220. And he had a black and a white, number 12. And they figured he could do it all with that. So what he ended up doing is he put the light on the ground. So one phase, so your 220 phases, okay, that are coming with black and white wire, okay, 220, for the pump. And now he just took off one leg, it went around on the light, and then he sent it to the ground. It's going to work. It's going to work, but it's unbalanced. And you better hope that ground never breaks and you get in between the break, because you're going to pick up the differential. That's not how it works, and that's not how it's supposed to work. That's it. I don't know if I said it all. That's all I got in my head for now. There's surely better ones to come in the new year, We're just at the beginning, and I hope this is not like what we're going to be dealing with all year, Okay, folks, that's it for this one. Made me happy to do it. I don't know if I gave enough explanations. As far as what I know, you don't do that, and the explanation, well, in my head it makes sense. I hope there's definitely a shock, and if you get under a resistive load, you'll find that it's a very sustainable, eyebrow-raising shock too. Hey, I said enough. Comments are welcome. Better ones are yet to come. And we'll see you in the next one.
His temper was forbidden.